How does one become a true leader? Well, there are various answers to that question. You can develop the qualities of a true leader: to be communicative, to be educative, to be a pace setter, to be someone who is accountable, to be someone who has the ability to solve problems, to be a problem solver. But I think the single most important element of a true leader is self-leadership. So a true leader should be able to lead himself in various areas in life. When someone becomes an example in various areas in his own life, then he can truly become someone who directs, guides, and leads other people. Physically, spiritually, psychologically, and emotionally. These are four major areas that someone can be a great or a good self-leader. So in order for anyone to be a true leader, for you to effectively lead others, you need to lead yourself in these four areas of your life: physically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically. Psychologically, for example, you need to have the resilience, you need to have the wittiness, you need to be prepared mentally and psychologically to face certain trials, to face certain problems in life. When you have faced these problems in life and you have conquered them, then you can come out and say you can lead other people in those areas of life. A mentor of mine always says something, that the bedrock of success actually lies in the areas of your life where you have conquered. Because success breeds success. It is very difficult, for example, if there's a tour guide, that tour guide is trying to guide others in a terrain that he has not been before. From that kind of situation, everybody will definitely get lost, right? And even though you don't get lost, the tour guide will not be able to give you the necessary information for you to enjoy the particular tour, but because he has not been there before. He probably has been seeing that destination on the magazine, just like you. So it is very important for anybody who wants to become a true leader to first of all lead himself in these four areas of life. When you lead yourself in these four areas of life, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically, when you lead yourself in these areas of life, then you can lead others. But the question would be, how does one lead himself in these four areas of life that I've just mentioned? One key word, a compound word, but it is very important. And I feel it's the only thing that can make you to achieve self-development in these areas, these four areas of life. Remember, we are discussing how do we become a true leader. And we said in order for you to be a true leader, you need to be a self-leader. That is, you need to lead yourself. Now, I will not mention the different areas in which you can lead yourself, right? But in order for you to be able to lead yourself in these four areas, you need to develop yourself. So it is very important that if you want to become a leader, you develop yourself. Because when you develop yourself, you'll be able to lead yourself in these four different areas that we have mentioned. And when you lead yourself in these four different areas that we have mentioned, then you can go on and lead others. You can go on and become a true leader in giving directions and letting other people understand what is needed, what are the elements for them to have success in these areas. So these are some of the things that anybody who has such ambition must keep in mind. So the question then comes up, how do you develop yourself in these various areas that we have talked about? It is very important that as leaders, we have some core principles. We have some core principles that we live by. When you live by these core principles, this is one step that you can use to develop yourself. There are several ways in which a leader should live his life that will help the person to develop psychologically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. There's a certain way you need to live your life. Living a life of accountability. Accountability is one of the single most important element in developing yourself. If you're accountable, There are a lot of things that you are going to take out of your life that will help you to develop yourself. Because when you are not accountable, to develop yourself will be a problem. The areas where you have not been able to achieve success, you are always going to blame someone else because you are not accountable for your own actions. But when you are accountable for anything you do, you will be able to take the right steps that are needed in order to achieve success in these areas. I'll give you an example. For example, let's say something comes up, it rains, for example. Someone who has achieved a certain level of accountability, a very high level of accountability. Let's say you are going out to the market or you are going out for grocery shopping, for example, and it rains. And maybe the rain caught up with you, you are soaking wet. Now, you could blame the rain for you getting wet. You could blame, anybody. But someone who is more accountable will take responsibility that, okay, maybe I should have gone to the grocery store earlier. Maybe I should have bought an umbrella earlier. Maybe I should have took an umbrella along. But instead of just shifting blame to other people, all right, you are being accountable for your own actions. So when you're accountable for your own actions, this helps and this leads to a form of self-development that is necessary or that is an important element of true leadership.